Good evening, FFR fans. Tonight we have a very special spring tournament match for you guys. We have One Fine Day taking on Spellzapp and a battle of the 1-0s here to kind of give us a preview of what might be a bracket match, maybe a top 4 match. Definitely two top runners at the top of their game. And I'm joined in the booth by my old teammate, Min the Mage. How you doing, Min?
Fine. I'm just excited for this race. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, this is going to be a great race, and we've already got our runners. We've dropped the gate, so we're going to see where they're going in just a second. But we do have a party draft. That asked me to flip a coin in the FFR bot casino, and we landed on tails, so he won the coin toss and selected Thief. One Fine Day replied with Fighter Red Mage, and then Spellzapp closed out the draft with the Black Mage. So we're going to have a fun little party comp here. Lots of speed, lots of power. It's going to be fun. And here we go. We are into Canaria. I'm going to check out this early game magic, see what we're locked out of, see what we have access to. Not much doing there in the level 1 magic, but we got Fire 3 and we've got Lock. So we're starting to put together the pieces of how we're going to get levels early and how we're going to deal with these fiends if they're nasty in Topher.
Fire 3 and Lock are pretty good starting spells. Lock has been changed in these flags to always hit, and with the boss scaling how it is, it'll definitely help against that.
Yep, and for a lot of our OG runners that are coming back to the community and partaking in the tournament, the Lock fixes, and for the folks out there that don't know, Lock lowers enemies' evasion by 20, so half of an invis stack. So a few casts of that, and we'll start melting that max evade off of our fiends. And both runners here into the Temple of Fiends going to start opening boxes right away. We get 3,000 gold in the bottom left chest. And Spellzapp taking advantage of a good run here, saving right outside while OFD just walked straight from Canary Castle in here. Luckily, we're hitting a lot of undead packs, so that Fire 3 going to take advantage of their weakness to it and help us mow through these, get some early experience. We might even hit level 3 before we see Garland.
Checking these chests in here because one of our flags set here is we have a free ship, but the canal is loose, so we can't actually get out of the inner continent unless we find the canoe and floater or the canal.
Yep, we need to find that canal. That canal is super important as Spellzapp sets Garland on Fire 3 and is through. One Fine Day.
By bats.
Yeah, bat blocks are going to happen. King gives us a bottle, and the Princess gives us a canoe. Oh boy. So, man, you were saying with the free canal or the loose canal, we need to open that up in a box. And typically, that means that it's either going to be in one of these free boxes here in Temple of Fiends, maybe Matoya's Cave, maybe in the Dwarf Cave, or it's in Marsh. But now that we have the canoe, that canal might be buried at the bottom of Ice Cave or on the bottom floor of Carrie's dungeon, the Gurgu Volcano, just chilling in that red D chest where we would find the vanilla flame armor. So we'll see where this canal ends up. We'll see if they even need a canal.
Yeah, they could just get the floater off maybe the Circle of Sages or the Pirates, so they may not need it.
Yeah, so we might see some early route divergence as Spellzapp already headed to provoke. I'm sure One Fine Day will be right behind him, but once we do that pirate check, anything and everything could happen. We could still see somebody make the cheeky marsh dive. We could see somebody go open some boxes in Matoya's Cave. We could see an early volcano dip. I doubt we'll see any ice blaze, but another thing.
Yeah, this really, ice is not a good choice, especially not with warp. You'll just get dumpstered by the mobs in there.
Yeah, Ice Cave with the how far you have to walk before you even get to a box, it's usually not the first play, but a little bit of money, a cabin, and a silver bracelet. Spellzapp rewarded for taking out the pirates with a ruby. So that's a good thing to find with these flags, is we have the incentivized Titans Trove on for the first time in a Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament, meaning that ruby will get us 2 key items, one from the Titans Trove, one from the Old Man Sarda, as we get a raid here from Speed Gaming 5. Good to see you all. Hope you guys like FFR action because we have a really great match going on right now. Spellzapp, One Fine Day, two of the top runners in the community, getting to show their stuff off here in the second week of our Swiss rounds. This is going to be
take
fun.
a look at level 2 magic. That's Saber, Breck, Stun, and Lock 2.
That's pretty good. So Brack going to be good for taking out the early fiends, the Tiamat and Kraken. Stun, good for a kind of crowd control. Will if say we didn't have an early sweeper, stunning that group of pirates. I'm sorry, that's the stop spell. Stun is a power word, so if like we wanted to take on Astos, we could throw a stun on him, and if he has fewer than 300 HP, he's paralyzed. But Lock 2, another good resource to have to back up that single target lock spell. Pretty good stuff so far. So both of our runners kind of crisscrossing their paths here. One Fine Day heading to provoke a Spellzapp, cleaning up the Matoya check. Where would you go next, Min?
From here, I would go check the Circle of Sages. It's a pretty free key item, especially because we have access to cheap save items. If we haven't been to Dwarf Cave yet, I'd go there first, but otherwise, yeah, I'd go to the Circle of Sages.
Yeah, that's a good call. And I think I would probably do the same thing. I might route in a stop at Elfland to kind of check the item shop, because we're still looking for a vendor item too, and there's nothing doing here in Provoca or Canaria items. So let's see if we have anybody that's going to make that cheeky marsh dive, though.
Always love to see it, not as a player, but as a viewer.
Yeah, and sometimes I think so. When it comes to the spring tournament, we have a casino theme running, as you can tell by our wonderful layout here, and with that in mind, we got some gambles to make.
Nuke.
What was that?
Level 3 nuke.
Oh, buddy, there's our first big sweeper. Level 3 nuke. So nuke being one of the best spells in the game, and I did see slot 2, life 2, so no life 2 for our red mages and for our parties at all. We do get the constellation cure 4 though, and that's pretty neat. Alright. So I missed the level 4 black magic there. I was kind of checking out chat, and then we've got no vendor item here in Elfland, so
could be in Crescent. 3,000 pro rings.
Yeah, dirt cheap pro rings, 3,400. You love to see it. I was playing a practice seed the other day, man, and I had gold bracelets for 6,000 gold. I almost lost my mind.
6,000? Jeez.
Okay, so I did see that we have life in the third slot, so we don't have life 2, but we have life and cure 4. So kind of the same thing, the same spell for 2 spell charges. That's pretty good.
Life's good enough.
Yeah, and it is unfortunate that life is sharing a slot with nuke. We'll kind of mitigate the effectiveness of that red mage in the early game, but in the long haul it will pan out. We'll lean a little bit more on the nuke from the black wizard and possibly a ninja if we get to promote and keep that thief alive. And chain armor pretty cheap. It's pretty good. So that's good armor, equivalent to silver bracelet absorb. Get more of an evade penalty with it, but yeah, I would much rather have that level of absorb for 80 gold than the other than taking the silver armor for like 1,400 gold.
We're gonna get a Circle of Sages check, and that's our Adamant, one of our turn-in items.
So this is good. This will, I mean, it's unfortunate that now we're going to have to go back down the river and go back to the dwarf cave, but we will get to route in those 2 free dwarf boxes. And if this turns into something like the key, this could be a great, sort of like a blessing in disguise. And Spellzapp going to take a little grind here, get some early levels, maybe see if there's some peds here outside Crescent Lake, and we're rewarded with a giant. Not the best.
Don't blame him. This is actually not a bad overworld grind for this early in the game.
Yeah, and it will get you some good money. Giants, I mean, you'd like to see them in a bigger pack than 1, but they got good money. So you got 1,200 gold just for that 1 fight. So you can only imagine grabbing 4 of them. It's pretty good. At level 6 magic, we're going to be locked out of Cure 3 and Fast on the red mages.
That sucks. Those are some really good spells for this point.
Yeah, we will get Fast though with the black wizard, so... Alright, let's see what One Fine Day does here. Both of our runners... And I like where... So I think One Fine Day, he dropped... Okay, he dropped... I thought he dropped a tent at that river fork and was going to sail to dwarves. And if adamant was like a post floater check, like a slab or something, he was going to reset back to that river fork. But he's just going to save scum across the inner sea here.
Another thing of note is when we do find that canal, we have a new incentive location in our randomizer that is the Titan's Trove incentive that is locked behind the ruby, and that also locks 2 checks pre-floater.
Yeah. So, question from chat from Super Basil. Are all classes allowed in this run? Yes, all 6 classes are allowed. However, our runners decided to party draft. So, they chose this party that they're running.
We got our floater from the dwarf blacksmith.
So, a floater, 10 minutes into the game, what have you done to our runners, men?
I told you I either run roll dumpster fires or 15-minute floaters. It looks like this one's a 10-minute.
Well, Spellzapp lets us know how excited he is, and the dwarf matches his excitement with a cheerful hooray!
That was a double hurry dwarf check.
Yeah, definitely. So, this is a great thing to find, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. So when you have this much, at least when I play, when I have this much access to the game, I will frequently sort of like freeze up because there's so much to do. Like there's the Sarda, there's the Dwarf's Check, there's all those free boxes, and Cardia, there's a million things to do. There's all the different towns to pop into. So what would you do here? Where's your first place you go with the floater?
First place I go with the floater is I take that ruby straight over to Sarda, and I check Sarda and turn in the ruby for 2 incentive items immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably what I would do too. And it looks like One Fine Day is going to check out the Cardia Islands first. Hopefully he's probably looking for some money, some early gear, help buy that shop item when he finds it, because he's going to find it now. Is rewarded with the dragon armor. That's pretty good.
Dragon armor is the best fighter armor in the game, but it is only equipable after promotion.
Yep, so we're going to hope against hope that we can get an early tail, because you really want to promote as soon as possible with this party.
Looks like Spellzapp's going to be turning in that bottle.
And we're looking for 2 loose items now that the canal has been rendered irrelevant. Silver Shield's pretty good. It's a nice early game absorb for that fighter.
Not as good as a flame or ice shield, but I'll definitely take it right here with nothing else.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd take an iron shield at this point. Just something to put in that slot, get some free absorb, and start soaking those hits, doing its job.
We have the crown from the fairy.
Okay, so we're going to go back, we're going to take care of Astos, we're going to do that fetch quest, probably route in Sarda and Titans along the way, and One Fine Day finds a cheap pro ring for sale, so that's pretty good.
He's going to save at the end over in Crescent, and looks like he is going to head over to Sarda Cave now.
Huge play there for One Fine Day, checking the caravan, finding the vendor item. It is the tail. We are going to promote here. We're going to go talk to Bahamut. We're going to show him our paperwork and get promoted.
Is that a level 4 promotion? Level 4 promotion and 10-minute floater.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So our ninjas, our knights might stay up this whole seed now. Now that anything that we get that's decent fighter gear, we can throw on that ninja. Alright, so Spellzapp getting all the loose items here. All the loose fetch, not loose, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Getting all the fetch quest items here, so he's going to be able to do the crown.
We got the chime from Sarda.
Mm-hmm. And I would imagine Spellzapp will also, now that he's checked all the vendors, he probably knows that the vendor item is either in Onrak or the caravan, so I'm sure he'll be right behind One Fine Day here.
Opal bracelet off Astos, not exactly what you want to see, but it is definitely a good piece of equipment.
Oh yeah, it's the best mage armor in the game that doesn't have a resistance to it. So the white shirts and black shirts are arguably the best mage armor for the white and black wizards, but we have a red wizard, so let's throw that opal bracelet on them.
We got the cube. That is immediate sky access.
We've got Chime, we've got Cube, we've got Spellzapp. We know that that is Sky, 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 Sky. So let's see where he goes.
So he is going to go and check it.
He's
or Ordeals.
All right, we're going to go Windmill Slam the Ordeals check. So Spellzapp going to be our first runner in there, but One Fine Day quietly picking up all kinds of equipment. He's making his preparations. He's going to start blowing through some of this stuff. I'd imagine he's going to do a few of these checks that Spellzapp has already done. So, but I like what Spellzapp's doing here. He's collecting those key items. He's building up his XP bonus for each one of those key items that he finds. He's getting 5% more XP.
One Fine Day gonna pick up his crown, and Spellzapp's taken immediately back to the first room.
Yeah, you gotta hate getting bonked right off of the first pillar.
One thing we do randomize on this game is the Ordeals pillar maze, and so every single time you do it, it'll be different.
I'm waiting for the day when the vanilla pillars will appear in the randomizer.
In the random pillars.
All right, One Fine Day cleaning up his Titans check. He's going to pick up that crystal. He's going to fly south, go talk to Sarda, get his chime, and then probably cut over to the Inner Sea, buy spells for his Knight and Ninja, and start diving dungeons.
Spellzapp gonna take these zombies. These zombies actually give pretty good experience and really good gold.
Oh yeah, especially when we got level 1 Fire 3. There's no better time to take him. And you can see, like, he walked in here at level 5. He's already level 9. So he's getting levels just by doing a little walking grind here. And already through the pillar maze.
One Fine Day getting their chime as Spellzapp approaches the trap tile. Not too bad. Let's see what we get out of these chests. Heal potion, 1,000 gold, cloth armor. Not a great start.
Ooh, there's a game changer. So there's an in-game weapon for Spellzapp.
And there's the TNT.
All right. So exiting out, not even going to check the spike tile. I like the play. He made all that progress through. He got decent levels. No sense in risking it on a 9-pack of potential bad men or something. Just going to body and make you lose.
Bad men or gas dragons.
Mm-hmm. You might get lucky and bad men roll kind of low and not without a script. So, you know, it can be a decent grind, but this party isn't built for grind, and this party's built for going fast, and that's what we're gonna do.
Spellzapp picking up his tail. He's probably gonna go and promote to make use of that Vorpal sword.
Grabs the pro ring. He's gonna get all that money that One Fine Day found here. One Fine Day routing in the Elfland check. Gonna buy those spells, but first he's gonna try to park on the helipad of the Elfland Inn. Sure, that's not allowed. Prioritizing buying life. I like it. Oh, he's going to get exit, and we're going to pick up life. Alright. I imagine he's going to go back and grab Nuke for that ninja, unless we're not planning to keep that ninja around.
Probably going to grab Nuke for the ninja, and I wouldn't think a Sky play is too crazy.
Not at all. So yeah, so I actually kind of like the idea of having a jet seed for both of these top tier runners and just letting them show off their stuff. It's like watching the home run derby, you know, in a sense. You know, you see the top players in their field just doing what they do best, going fast, doing boxes. Like, we're not even 20 minutes in and we're already acquiring go mode, like in-game weapons and gear. This is awesome.
Seeing a few items for go mode, but yeah, we have all of the on-game gear we could ask for pretty much. One fine day, gonna turn in his crystal and get his cube, so now both runners have access to Sky.
Yep, so let's think. We got 4 key items that we're still absolutely looking for. We need that key, we need the loot, we need the rod, and we need the Oxiel. We know we have an incentive Earth Cave, we have an incentivized Ice Cave, we've done the Ordeals play, we know that that's the TNT, but we don't know what that turns into, and we still have Waterfall. So if all of that works out perfectly, we could have a loose Power Gauntlet and a loose Thor's Hammer, and our runners could just be going. Especially if this Waterfall play turns into just straight Oxiale.
That would be probably the best case scenario, because then we can just go straight into water, the Sea Shrine, and grab all the chests in there if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if we would, though. I don't know if these runners would do that, just because sea isn't incentivized, and that's a lot of boxes and a lot of ground to cover. They might do left side skip mermaids and come back to it if they don't find it. But I would imagine we're going to prioritize these mini dungeons, the waterfall. We've already done ordeals, and now we're looking for maybe an ice cave. I don't know. We got chat calling for a loose, easy item on the way. Maybe we'll get our first loose item here in the waterfall.
Could be Mirage. They could go and open the boxes in Mirage and then go to Earth Cave.
Mm-hmm.
Mirage doesn't take too long to clear out, at least the first floor.
I would be shocked if any of our runners went into Marsh Cave early. It would be one heck of a cheeky gamble, but with it not being incentivized and not having the key, it doesn't feel like it would be anything but a gamble at this point. Which, I mean, if you're racing against a top tier runner, like that might be what you have to do to get an advantage.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother with Marsh at this point. We left that continent behind a while ago.
And speak of the devil, and he shall appear. We just got a straight up key. So there's 25% of our go mode checks left. We just need 3 more, and Spellzapp turns in that TNT. That might be another one.
We have the TNT to turn in, and then we have all the key locked chests to do this.
Yep, so he's going to abandon the Sea Shrine. Obviously, he doesn't have the Oxiel, so he cannot go there. So I'd imagine we're going to see some key locked boxes getting opened.
Listen to our amazing airship music. This game has one of the best airship songs.
And big shout out to Danny3883 doing the tracking for us as she does best. And Spellzapp thinks better of the Ice Cave dive just yet. We're going to buy some spells for our newly promoted Knight and Ninja. Ninjas being able to learn all of the magic from levels 1 to 4 in Black Magic. The Knight and the Red Wizard being able to learn the same spells. So slots 1, 3, and 4 in level 1, all of level 2, slots 1 and 3 in Elfland level 3, and the White Mage gains access to a few more spells in level 4 and level 5 respectively, as well as all the charges in level 6 that they can learn. So Red Wizard getting a lot of magic access, but we're going into Ice Cave. Alright, One Fine Day making his way back to his airship. I'd imagine we're going to go right to that TNT check. It seems like he's prioritizing turning in these fetch and incentive items first. And Spellzapp not going to skip any boxes. Doesn't have warp to do the warp trick. But so we're going to check this spike tile, and we're going to work our way through and probably just exit once we find out what's in that vanilla floater chest. And the fetch continues. So that's a pretty good tile to find right there with the Fire 3. Fire 3 going to make quick work of these Medusas. Swing's going to take out that Saber T.
Gonna be some decent gold there.
Mm-hmm. And it gets rewarded with the house. Alright, let's see what this herb turns into. Power Gauntlet. Okay, so we have confirmation that one of our key items for Go Mode is going to be loose.
Did we already see the TNT turn in or no?
The TNT turned into the herb, which turned into the power block.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, One Fine Day, heading up the Ice Cave, going to come in right behind Spellzapp. Question from chat, what are the incentive locations? We have an incentivized Ordeals, we have an incentivized Ice Cave, and we have an incentivized Titan's Trove and an incentivized Earth Cave this week. This week being our Earth Week, where we're running the same flag, same percentages, same everything. It's just the incentive Fiend Dungeon changes from week to week. So last week it was the Sea Shrine, this week it is the Earth Cave. Next week will either be the Volcano or the Sky Palace, and week 4 will be whichever one wasn't week 3. So basically next week determines the next 2 weeks, and then week 5 of Swiss will be one of the 4 Fiend Dungeons chosen at random, and then week 6 we're going to be in full chaos mode where no incentivized Fiend Dungeon and 3 loose plus that awkward canal.
Spellzapp finding a ribbon inside of the ice cave.
Mm-hmm.
Ribbon is the best piece of headgear in the game. It provides resistance to every element, I think.
Yep, all 8 of them. Which is basically a requirement for the end game. Like, you want to have at least one.
Because insta-death spells in this game actually work, and they can wreck your day.
They are a very bad time. We got another one of our intrepid trackers in chat, MG Weirdo, pointing out that the ribbon does not protect against the punch spell. Well, that is true.
Invis 2 does, though.
We did find a white shirt, so, and the waterfall, so Spellzapp has that. That helps against the punch spell.
Those two together, you're invincible.
Yeah, in theory.
Just kidding, you can still die to RNG, and there's nothing you can do about it.
There's still the handy dandy nuke spell, which is non-elemental and will blow up all of your best laid plans.
Also, RNG wasn't properly programmed to the best of my knowledge, so even if you fully resist something, you still have a 3 in 256 chance of being hit by it.
Yep, so we do have a little bit of strategy divergence here, as Spellzapp used Ice Cave to put that ninja into its danged position and left it there. So he will be running the 3-person party, finds the loose rod. So whoever, I think that was Thunderclawed in chat, asking for an easy loose along the way. And there's Oxiel. So
we're in go mode minus the loot.
Yeah, go mode, well, minus the most important item.
Could just be an earth cave.
Yeah, could, yes, yep. So it's we got a 50-50. We got a 50-50 loot or Thor hammer in the Earth Cave.
Loot's in Earth Cave. This is going to be a really quick one.
Yeah. And I would imagine we have exit. We've got the rod. We need to know. We're going to Earth Cave next. I would imagine Spellzapp may go. I mean, that's where I would go. I would go to Earth next. I would skip Earth 1 because that's a real quick check. I would full clear Earth 2 just in case. I've found many a loot in that bottom room. And then I would full clear to the vampire. Hope that loot is there. And it might be the slab. If it's the slab, then we could be in the bad times.
It would have to be a slab because by logic, every item has to be obtainable, right?
Mm-hmm. But there could be a loose slab that leads to Thor's hammer. Mm-hmm. So we got ourselves a wild one, man. This is gonna be good. I mean, now I'm kind of rooting that it is just loot right away in that box, and we can just see fireworks.
Just go mode.
Yeah, I want to see Spellzapp and onefineday beat each other, and we get a free masa for Spellzapp here in the Elfland Armory. So, free seed is free. Man, I think you might be pinged more often. You might be banned from rolling seeds in like the broken stages.
My seeds are always a coin flip, so
yeah. This is,
if you want that chance, then...
So, we haven't seen anything in Topher. We haven't seen any of the fiends yet. These fiends could be nasty. We do have the tools now. We have a level 6 fast. We haven't seen Temper. We do have a power bonk, though. So, OFD, he knows he's got a 1 in 3 shot here because he hasn't done the waterfall yet. So, he doesn't have that key. Oh, buddy. This is going to be good.
Just drop the Vorpal.
Why not?
Vorpal sucks.
Alright, so he walked right past Narek. So I mentioned, and there's the defense. Wow, free seed is free, man.
Jeez, I really did roll an easy
This is I mean, this is remarkable. I mean, I can't be mad at it because, like, this is gonna be... It's gonna be something. You know, you're not going to see a runner lose a race because they forgot to open a box. You know, you're going to see 2 runners executing a seed, and it's just that who can execute this the better. And there's no RNG at play here. Spellzapp going back, like, oh yeah, I got to do the TNT thing. Forgot that.
I thought he was just gambling that it wasn't going to be anything.
So we've already got calls in chat, man. You're hired. You're hired to roll all the seeds.
Oh boy, everyone's gonna be on my back now.
I remember the first few times I rolled seeds, they were wonderful for people last spring tournament, and then they started letting me roll seeds for the Duck Derby, and
oh no.
Then it was the bad times. So Spellzapp has all of his gear in-game win conditions. He's got a ribbon, he's got a power block, he's got a defense sword, he's got a white shirt. He's got life on 3 casters. Or I'm sorry, he's got life on 2 casters. He's got fast on 1. He's making the earth play, so it may appear that onefineday has an early lead, but Spellzapp did do the waterfall, so it's kind of close here.
Is he gonna do a Hall of Giants grind?
He's gonna check the spike tiles. It's not a bad move with the spike tiles being shuffled. If we find something good here worth grinding, he is gonna need levels. So flame armor, pretty good. If we wanted to keep that ninja, so it looks like that may be the play that OFD is gonna do. Sunsword, another nice sword find. So we have found the Masa, the Vorpal, the Sunsword, the defense. We found an ice sword.
X-Cal.
X-Cal and Katana, where are you at? Probably in these 2 boxes down here on Earth 1. So we have found the dragon armor. Is the Aegis shield just going to be here for free too? And another house. Okay. All right, OFD coming up on what he hopes is his last box that he has to open before this vampire chest. If this vampire is just the straight loot, we know that will be in go mode once he goes to waterfall.
There's also the chance that we get the other two ribbons right next to each other.
I mean, all right, so the mystery continues, but I imagine he's going to route that slab into his waterfall check.
That slab leads to the Thorhammer. We're probably going to have to full clear the rest of the game.
Yeah, then it will be whoever gambles right first. And I imagine both of our runners, an insane amount of game knowledge between the two of them. They know chest density over anything and will go to Sky. So question from chat, why is Spellzapp still opening boxes? There is a potential loose loot. We got ourselves a 50-50.
So one fine day making his way almost to the Lich floor, our first boss potentially. And I imagine it will be that way.
Yeah, oh yeah. And to get a Fiend killed under 40 minutes feels good. You know, that usually means that you have done a fair amount of the mini dungeons, you've got some gear, and you're making pretty good time. If you can go mode the other Fiend dungeons, that you could... I mean, there were jokes in chat. This could very well be the first sub-hour if that slab is the loot.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about that.
If Topher rolled nice, this could be very quick. But with that in mind, I do want to let people know that we do have a lot of races coming to you this week. We have a few more going tonight. I'm bringing up the schedule so I can give you all the information you need for the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament Week 2 of Swiss. We've got tonight at 9 o'clock, we're on RPG Limit Break. We're going to have Leggy Starscream and Game Boy F9 calling Silverfire and Thundercloud. That'll be a fun one to watch.
That'll be a great match.
Oh, yeah. And it looks like that's the only other race tonight. So I thought there was at least one more, but I am mistaken. I had to look at the schedule.
Should be more tomorrow, though, so be on the lookout for that.
We're going to have 37 races a week. So there's going to be plenty of FFR for you to watch all week long.
Most of those will be Friday, Saturday, as usual.
Well, we got chat trying to correct me with 36 because we did have somebody drop out, but we are planning to have the person that gets the bye week every week still running an exhibition race. So this week it is Falconic going to be in the bye week, so given the free win, but he and his wife Moist Mogwai are going to do a exhibition race just so he can stay sharp. I mean, he's a little rusty. He's been out of the game for a while, but I even beat him a couple weeks ago. It's crazy.
Right, we have our first Fiend pull on OFD's side.
Oh, and eats a nuke roll, so Lich kind of chunky. And there Lich goes. All right, so 37 minutes, 20 seconds. One fine day lights his first orb and is on his way. Gonna translate that slab.
First orb lit at the 37-minute mark feels really nice here.
Mm-hmm. Getting our first look at level 5 magic. Ice 3 warp, pretty good. That warp was promotion locked for the red wizard, but the black mage could have learned it.
Christian in chat, Danger Melmond. I don't believe we have Zozo Melmond on.
Correct. There are no encounters in Zozo Melmond the whole spring tournament. So. Alright, OFD.
Still rocking the 3-man strats.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. He's going to go to Volcano before checking Slab and Waterfall. I wonder what he's going to do here. If he's going to just check the greed chests or if we're going to full clear.
I mean, he doesn't quite have the same gear as Spellzapp, so he could be looking for equipment here.
He will get that gear though once he goes to Waterfall. So he's still missing key and loot. Those could be anywhere. We know that he needs to go to the Waterfall to get that key. And we're hoping that slab turns into the loot. And if it does, this could be a huge advantage for Spellzapp if he makes that turn in.
Because he doesn't even have to check boxes. His gear's already pretty much endgame set, so...
Yeah, I'd imagine he may check, even in Go mode, he may check the Volcano Armory cluster just because it's a lot of chests all on top of each other. But alright, Spellzapp getting blocked by them dang bats. Gonna clean up his earth check, doesn't want to orphan anything that he doesn't have to. Dang bat, there's a gold bracelet. We missed that on One Fine Day screen. That's a good find.
Gold bracelets are really nice if you don't have anything. And they're really cheap too in this seed, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Question in chat, did OFD check the Lafane item? No, he did not.
Yep, not yet. I get the proximity routing. You know, he's right next to the volcano doing that, but I mean, it feels weird to question somebody's call like this because One Fine Day has been playing this game a lot longer than I have, but I think that I would have checked the Lafane location, and if it weren't what we were looking for, we could just as easily divert into a Mirage Sky check with a lot more boxes to open and better fights to take along the way for experience. And was that Giants or Agamas with the glare?
Looks like Agamas.
Ooh.
There's our canal.
Always good to find that.
It's our second loose, everyone.
There's 5% more XP at least. So silver linings everywhere. That would have been
a good grind if it didn't have glare.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would have been a scary canal to get if we needed that canal. To have to get through glare agamas to get it.
Especially without any ribbons.
Alright, Spellzapp gonna check his level 5 magic. We got a wizard stick. That would have been a nice find early on for a carry win condition, but with the gear and items we got now, that shouldn't be a problem. We got a raid from Speed Gaming Deutsch. Thank you for joining us. Hope you like watching Final Fantasy Randomizer, that you're tuning into one of the top matchups this week as Spellzapp and One Fine Day are in a race to find a loot and beat this game. We still have a sub 1 hour hype alive. Let's go. Okay, Spellzapp, doing the check.
This is loot. This is massive.
Let's all collectively hold our breath. I'm glad there's not a lot of fights.
Much less fiend ones to call.
Oh. Womp womp. Okay, get your guesses in chat. Where's that loot? Any box in the game. It could be anywhere. Level 8 temper.
Could even be in Marsh Cave, where we never went.
So now, I think an advantage might shift to OFD here. He doesn't have the knowledge that that slab is a bonk, but if loot is down here... Uh-oh. It's gonna be good. We have a lot of boxes to open. We got TOF locked, we got Canaria locked, we've got all of Marsh, Northwest Castle. I think we checked that.
We checked Northwest Castle.
Okay.
We have all of Sea Shrine, too.
All of Sea Shrine. All of Mirage Sky. We still have a few more boxes here in the volcano. Okay.
Guys in chat, Temple of Fiends. Key items can actually not be in the Temple of Fiends. Not the revisited. They can be in the regular chests, just not revisit.
Correct. There are the 3 boxes locked by the Mystic Key that we could be looking for.
There was an Aegis Shield and Mirage.
Almost vanilla. Actually, that might have been vanilla. Right in that center chest there. I think
it was the one above it.
Yeah, actually, I don't know. There's people in the game that know there's people in chat that know the game better than me. Where's the vanilla Aegis Shield located? Is it less than, greater than, or is it first floor? Alright. Ooh, black shirt. That's a nice find. So that's the same absorb as a gold bracelet, but it affords us time and ice elemental resistance. So the only item in the game that offers resistance to zap other than a ribbon. Gotta love it. That's pretty good. Because zap's one of the scarier spells to show up in Topher.
Can be a replacement for a ribbon on a black mage if you have a pro ring and a pro cape too, I believe.
The pro cape doesn't actually offer any resistances, but it's still the only shield slotted items that a mage can equip. Except the buckler on the red mage. But for whites and black mages, they only have the pro cape. Which in my mind is kind of like the little capes that the Wakandan army had in the Black Panther movie. In my mind, that's how they rock it. The little force field. So almost a vanilla Aegis shield, and nothing doing except some decent gear in Volcano. Less than, greater than. We've got...
Everyone hold your breath.
Bupkis, alright.
Nope, not here.
One fine day, on his way, gonna take on Carrie. Should not have too much trouble with her. We'll see what happens.
She can be pretty nasty sometimes, but usually you don't need to worry about.
Yeah, she can be if you don't have the levels, but we got 3 nukes and we're swinging a Masa. Oh, actually, OFD doesn't have the Masa. He's going Vorpal. He's got to do the Elfland Armory to get that Masa. So, Crabcake's in chat calling for loot and Sky too. I'm gonna be that guy and hope that it's in Marsh Cave and that it was the very first box we opened in the Marsh Cave.
Last location, Marsh?
Yeah, last location, first box, just for maximum tilt.
By then he'll have all his orbs cleared, so...
Alright, OFD, blink and you miss it. A bunch of nukes and Vorpal swings take out Carry. He lights his second orb at the 46 minute, we'll say 46:30. Though he's making good progress here. Spellzapp doing this Sky play, gonna get better levels taking these fights, so I would imagine this is supplanting any need for a grind for Spellzapp.
Metal Slimes give really good experience, and just in general, Sky encounters give a lot of experience, so this is not a bad...
Alright, Sky 1, nothing doing so far. OFD on his way to acquire Thor's Hammer.
To get his Thor's Hammer and the knowledge that we have to go look for the loot.
Leaving those Zeus gauntlets behind. I like a Zeus gauntlet, but I guess we're running out of armor slots. So Temper and level 8 Lefane. You hate to see it. That's probably a Temper spell I would never find, because I never check level 8 Lefane.
I do sometimes, usually not.
Yeah. But I guess he could be relying on that Vorpal because he doesn't know about the Masa just yet. And I guess OFD is going to Sky, so skipping Waterfall altogether. So going to go to Waterfall, going to route Waterfall and Sea Shrine in at the same time. I mean, given what we know about this seed, we know that that's not a bad play. That we know that... However, if the loot is in C, Spellzapp will likely get there first. Alright, first few checks of Sky 2, nothing doing. Almost sounds like baseball. Nothing doing here in the top of the second floor of Sky.
You always hate to see loose items here because this floor is really slow and obnoxious to clear out.
Mm-hmm. Especially without a lot of warp charges or, you know, and the ability to walk faster.
At least it's faster than the vanilla game.
Oh yeah, we need was it Wild Arms where you had the roller skates? You can only go in a straight line, but it's a zoomy. You want that?
It's fast. That's all that matters.
Just like the Pegasus boots, I guess, and Link to the Past. All right, nothing doing left side Sky 2. Let's see what the right side has to offer.
Spellzapp hitting level 20 already. Experience here is high.
Question in chat: what's baseball? Oh, it's a sport that was invented in the mid 1800s. The origins are arguably nebulous as to who actually invented it, but it's a wonderful game played by 2 teams of 9 people opposing each other. It is the only game in sports that the defense puts the ball into play, so that's kind of a little fun fact there. Checking the right side, Sky 2, nothing doing, just a little bit of money.
Not really needed at this point with all the encounters he took.
I love chat, they're funny.
Chat's great.
In the before times, people went outside and hit balls with sticks. By Jonathan Yoshi. Alright. Middle, Sky 2. 2 boxes, mana cores, running from them. Oh, we're going to take this fight, yeah. Oh, no we're not. Okay, opening boxes. A little bit of money. A little bit more money. Okay, Cece, you got 1 box left for your guess to be correct. Womp womp. Alright, Sky 3, let's go. Our last 14 boxes. And I believe a dungeon that has 52 treasures. And
LFD is getting stun locked.
He got stun locked by the Chimeras. That's kind of scary. They will show up in the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
And they can really do some damage if you let them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Regardless of all this good armor, if you're stunned, that evasion does nothing for you. Alright, a little bit of money. There it is. Sky 3, loose loot, go mode, 5136.
Sub-hour go mode, you love to see it.
Mm-hmm. So if OFD can get through the Trance Chimeras, we're gonna oh, it looks like my stream's hiccuping.
Mine too.
Alright. And we're back. Okay. So I'm trying to think. So OFD did lose a little bit of time doing that full clear of Volcano. Volcano very quick to clear. I'm curious how One Fine Day is going to approach Sky 2. A lot of runners will skip Sky 2, check all of Sky 3, and then come back to Sky 2 if it's not here. Just because, like you mentioned before, it's very tedious. It's a very tedious check. So if OFD skips Sky 2, immediately goes to that 6-pack of chests on the right side of Sky 3, he could be in go mode in maybe the next minute.
Maybe don't usually skip Sky 2, but Sky 3 is a lot easier to clear.
Mm-hmm. And we do have access to the warp spell, so alright, moving some gear around. Making sure that the knight has that ribbon just in case we see a crazy war mech here. We want to be able to take it on. Alright.
Or mech's always fun to see.
Double fighter is always fun to see too. It's really good XP.
Almost 5,000 off of just that.
Yeah, we're going double bracks.
Question in
First-
chat, where was Key? It was in the waterfall cave behind the robot.
So 1 brack is all you need to get the job done. Spellzapp lights his air orb at 5340. He is chugging along, gonna scoot on over to the sea shrine. I would imagine he may open 2 treasure chests there.
Sounds about right.
Question in chat, where was the loot? The loot was on Sky 3 in the 6 cluster to the right. And OFD gonna lose some time here by clearing out Sky 2. Spellzapp on his horse, just going.
He is just going through this dungeon.
But if Temple of Fiends has anything remotely scary, One Fine Day could be right back in it because he's not far behind. Routing in the waterfall with the sea play, and with it being directly leading to the key, which he has to know that it's just key and loot out there, is gonna just save him time. Like, there's no more fetch quests to do. It's just get it and go.
This is going to be a real close race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would say Spellzapp maybe has 5 minute, if that, 3 to 5 minutes somewhere in there.
Less
advantage.
than that even. He only cleared waterfall and that doesn't take very long.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Spellzapp still has to do the volcano, but that's a 2 minute. That's a 2 minute clear.
Especially in go mode. Like, volcano takes a while to full clear, but if you're go moding it, it doesn't take long.
Yeah. And skipping those 2 chests that I thought he might open, if he was going to open any, it would have been those 2 right there, right before the Sharknado floor. In that little bean-shaped room. Yep, even skipping the greed chest right there in Sharknado. So, OFD, probably 30 seconds away from his go mode. I would imagine he'll go to the right side first. Spellzapp gonna leave that black wizard down. Looks like something had something kind of nasty down here. We got a stun touch and punch happy lobsters. That'll kill some mages pretty quickly.
And Fine Day seeing an eye, definitely killing it. Gives a lot of good XP for just being one monster, and they never have very much HP.
And there it is, 1 box. He'll finish clearing this 6-pack. And he will be going. Question in chat, why does One Fine Day need the key? Well, when you play the vanilla game, you get a lot of items in a very specific order. And you are protected from weird things in the game that are gating you from progression. Like, for example, there is a room in the Temple of Fiends Revisited where you go through the plate after you kill the Phantom, you go down that ladder, that door, when you try to get into the bottom of the Temple of Fiends, that is locked by the Mystic Key. So, we need that key to open that door. Another example of that would be the crown being required to get into the Temple of Ordeals. In the vanilla game, there's no way that you don't have the crown by the time you get to Ordeals, but that's where it is. That lock is in place.
Another question in chat. Does OFD have any ribbons? There was one in Ice Cave that I'm about 95% sure he picked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both of our runners have at least 1 ribbon. Spellzapp has the Masa from the Elfland Armory. That might be the deciding factor in their Topher dives. Alright, Spellzapp lights his 3rd orb at the 57, roughly 45 mark. Gonna stock up on some items here and head into that volcano. And another example of a weird out-of-place key lock is the TFC. That fun chest in the seafloor, on the floor before the mermaids, in that room that is a backward shaped sea. That room is also locked by the key.
Spellzapp making some quick shopping trips, probably to get some magic that he missed.
Mm-hmm. Alright, one fine day, gonna see if he can get that first turn Brack onto Tiamat. Spellzapp not even saving before going to the volcano. Not just disrespecting Carrie, but disrespecting all of the volcano dungeon. Vorpal doing Vorpal things on Tia. Brack comes out ineffective. Another Brack comes in right behind it, and we got Bracked, back-to-back Bracks for both of our runners on Tia 2, or on Tia 1 rather.
If you know how insta-death spells in this game work, it's pretty easy to abuse them.
Question from chat: if you buy extra of the key item, does it give you more of an XP boost? I wish that were the case. But no, you can rebuy something after you've turned it in, so they could go back and buy another tail if they wanted to do that to line up their items. But you can only do that for items that go away out of your inventory, such as the tail, the slab, the ruby. Blink and you miss it. Spellzapp already to the bottom of the volcano.
We're gonna have a 1 hour all 4 orbs lit.
We'll see if these bowls let Spellzapp through before that 1 hour mark. Well, maybe as long, I guess it's valid as long as it happens for the 1 hour 1 minute mark, and we're firing off all the nukes and swinging that masa. Carrie resists both of those nuke rolls, takes a hit on her chin for 300 damage. We're coming right back, and Carrie rolled high on health. She's sitting at about 770, but 380 from a nuke will take her down. 1 hour, 30 seconds, Spellzapp, and into the game mode.
We're approaching our final dungeon, the Temple of Fiends Revisited. We'll see how that goes, because they don't call it the Great Equalizer for nothing.
Love that you almost sounded like a flight attendant. Approaching our final destination. Thank you for watching Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. We hope you watch with us again. Local time, 1 hour, 1 minute. Spellzapp enters the Temple of Fiends Revisited. And you got to think it's that little difference of checking which chest dent's location first, volcano versus sky, and that's all the difference right now. And the only other difference here between our runners, because One Fine Day arguably had an earlier lead, was that trance wipe to the chimeras. And also OFD not going to have that Masa, because I doubt he's going to check keylock. So question from chat: that door right up there that Spellzapp just walked through, that is the reason we need the key item, the Mystic Key.
It's a dumb reason, but we do need it.
And if you're ever playing this game and you get to that door and it don't open, you'll never forget why you need the key.
First time I did that, my heart stopped.
Now, if we were playing with shortened Topher on, or shortened Temple of Fiends, where it's just you go through the Black Orb and onto the down, you'll start the game with the loot, and the key will not be required. The same for Chaos Rush. If you're playing in Chaos Rush mode, the key will not be required for Temple of Fiends Revisited. It will be required if you have incentive key lock, such as Canary Castle or Marsh Bottom.
Spellzapp getting stun locked.
And he's getting his Trance Dance Revolution on. So we talked about it in Mirage when OFD wiped out because of it, but here we see it happen into Spellzapp. Trance non-elemental stun. Riven's not going to help with that. Nothing going to help with that.
You just have to hope it doesn't hit.
Yep. So he loses about a minute and a half here, resetting out. But the stun touch lobsters, given it's a One Fine Day, he's down to 2 light warriors, and both of his mages are down.
Gets away and is immediately into another encounter.
Mm-hmm. And OFD checking the free chest here. Apologies for the dog noises in the background. He's real thirsty. So. All right. Gasties with wall.
Stone poison, it looks like. Checking chest here isn't exactly bad. He's still missing a couple pieces of endgame gear that he would like to see.
Yeah, he's got... I mean, the Vorpal will do him well. He's got Power Bonk. He's got Fast. It might actually be an advantage for OFD if these bosses rolled high on Absorb. He did get the white shirt out of the waterfall, but he won't have the defense from the Dwarven Armory.
Were those Death Touch Whiz Vamps, or did the ninja just get one shot?
I was looking at OFD's screen, so I missed it. There's a good chance that the ninja was just one shot. Whiz Vamps punch real hard. We got Falconic in chat giving out subscriptions to Speed Game, and thank you so much for doing that. All right, and we are past the nasty chimeras. And we're going to go Brack. Oh, so never mind. We went to Nuke. So Kraken trying to hold down those Light Warriors. Not going to work. Vorpal swinging 3 hits, 122 with 2 crits. Another Nuke. So Brack was a nice way to do it, but Kraken fewer than, looked like 600 HP. So
yeah, not too tanky.
all right, and with that, One Fine Day has entered into his no mode as he has all of the key items he needs. Once Danny lights up.
Ordeals?
Yes, he did Ordeals because that was the TNT to the herb to the Opal B. He needed to do Waterfall, but he did that. Just got confirmation. Saw the key in his menu. So we are going. Lich pulled for Spellzapp. Fire 3's coming out. Swing's coming out. Lich looking pretty tanky.
High absorb, but he could just not have that much HP.
Mm-hmm. 5 hits, 199. In comes Tornado, non-elemental damage. That's a blessing and a curse. You like to see it come out. You don't want to see it on Chaos, but you hate to be humbled by Lich. Because Lich is more often than not a pushover. So One Fine Day comes in, it's over 1 hour, 6 minutes, 48 seconds, just about 4 minutes or so behind Spellzapp's most recent entry.
Gonna be very, very close here.
Mm-hmm. The worst thing about the non-elemental tornado is the damage it does to your heal potions.
Right, pulling carry too soon. This fight can be very, very dangerous.
And there was a validation chest Bane Sword. OFD almost, he stuttered there for a second. He almost went back for it, but here comes the carry fight. Looks like going full speed and power. Nukes fasting that Masa swing is getting power bonked. And a white shirt, okay.
White shirt's good here because carry can hit hard.
And Carrie just poking out Dang's eyes, the Three Stooges style. Dang, in order to block that, you gotta throw your hand up in a knife form over across your nose, and it'll keep Carrie from poking your eyes out. And Dang in his confusion falls to the floor as Carrie, pretty chunky there. It looked like she had about 1,000 HP. And One Fine Day is reminded of the trance chimeras, but that ninja a little bit higher level than Spellzapp's Dang, able to get the run off and get away.
It's good too, because taking a reset there would put him further behind.
Gersharks and Big Eyes, that's a good fight to take for some XP.
Doesn't really need it right now, though.
Chat calling for both of our runners to finish under 120. We might see 2 under 115.
Yeah, depending on how the trash mobs play with One Fine Day, it could end up being a 115 for both.
Yep. And here comes the Kraken pull. We're going to open up with a white shirt and defense, get that evasion up, and we're going to fire off some nukes. So, mixing our offense and defensive strategies, our white shirt caster goes down. One Fine Day getting his Lich pull. Going to find out that Lich has well over vanilla HP. Vorpal doing Vorpal things, 4 hits, 4 damage on Lich. We're still rolling out nukes and defenses, getting Dan all the way up to evasion cap. Or about, we're at 5 stacks now. Fast gonna come out. Fire 3, little chip damage, not doing much. And this Kraken's got some evasion. So we're gonna mix up strategies. We're gonna throw out some lock 2s, and here comes a nuclear. We're in trouble.
Uh-oh.
We need some big crits here from the Masa. 4 hits, 200 damage with a single crit. Lich goes down, and here comes Thunder. We're in man mode time. We're holding A. We're praying. And RNGesus has answered our prayers.
Down goes Kraken too. That can be a very dangerous fight, but it looks like he didn't hit very hard.
And that's going to be a very dangerous fight for One Fine Day, as he does not have that Moss immune. But if we get the buffs in a good turn order, we might be able to charge up that Vorpal as we hit unrunnable iron goals. Nukes should clear this out, as they hit for 360, and those iron goals still standing. Uh-oh.
Iron goals give a lot of XP, but unless they're unrunnable, they are unrunnable, but you typically don't want to take them this late.
I learned this the other day. Iron goals will always be unrunnable, much in the same way our Sahags and Wiz Sahags are always unrunnable. The iron goal is the B-side encounter for Garland.
Well, at least they give a lot of XP.
And unless we're talking beta, and beta the unrunnable formations can be mixed up. It was strange running my first one of those seasons, running across that Sahag pack that was runnable. And Tiamat fires off stop to open things up. And so it's going to put a damper a little bit on us, but we're both, Dan and Danny, firing off their ruses and defense swords. Switch to power bonks. Looks like Tiamat's going to be spell happy here.
Gonna get some power bonks and more evade up, I think it was. Yeah.
Another stop coming in.
Tia not punching through very much, not super dangerous today.
We're finally doing damage. 5 hits, 536. We need Danny to stay alive, though, as she has the bulk of our life casts.
I think the fighter still has 1 charge left.
Looks like Danny only had 1 charge left. One Fine Day on to carry, firing off nukes. A bunch of fights. Gonna try a cheeky stun. Let's see if that stun hits. That'll be a good indication of where Carrie's life is. Not effective. Bringing the Dang back up one last time. One Fine Day, looking at his inventory, figuring out what he's going to do. Here it comes. We're taking this chaos fight very seriously. Lightning 2 comes out. Dang, unable to do the white shirt thing. Here comes a fast. Here comes a lock 2. And the defense sword. Lock 2, defense, and we don't have any temper charges. Trying the cheeky brack. Ineffective. Lightning 3 comes in.
It's always funny to land an insta-kill on Chaos.
Oh Yeah, and if there's anybody that knows about Spellzapp, last year's spring tournament had his opponent do a Bane sword on him, and Falconic baned Chaos in his race against Spellzapp. First turn, and Chaos says, "Oh, we're going to talk about Bane. Say goodnight, Danny." Dan hits 987. Here's another hit. Where it is, 2 swings. Masa getting it done. Spellzapp finishes 113.50. Get them GGs in chat for an absolute blistering pace, and not to be outdone. One Fine Day on his way, going to be right there. Let's see if we can get Mr. Spellzapp in here. I'm going to call this Kraken 2 fight for One Fine Day. Min?
What's up?
I was going to see if you wanted to call the Kraken 2 fight for One Fine Day.
Sure. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. We got Lockcast coming out, knowing that evade, power bonks, swing, ice. I believe that's an ice sword for 1 damage. Not too much.
Uh-oh. There's a thunder from Kraken.
Ice 380 damage. Forward bolt 3 hits 342. 2 hits 197. Punching through that absorb.
Oh. And Kraken doing Kraken things to One Fine Day. One Fine Day throws out the forfeit. Can't blame him. That was a hell of an attempt on his behalf. Both of these runners doing what they do, showing their speed and power. Get them GGs out there for OFD.
Looks like we're joined by Spellzapp. GG, Spellzapp.
Hey guys, GG.
Hey man, how'd that feel?
Fast.
We were all calling for the loot and Earth.
Yeah, I mean, I cleared Earth. You kind of have to price into clearing Earth in these flag sets, or in this week. But you know, it was just in my next place I usually go, which is Sky.
Yeah.
Sure, it wasn't at the bottom of Sky, but you know.
Yeah, it was quite the race to watch. Everyone in chat was watching both of you, or the early leads changing back and forth, and the difference in the mid-game routing with One Fine Day. GG's, dude. Thank you for coming in for an interview. The difference being, you went to Volcano, where Spellzapp followed the slab to get the information that it was in fact a loose loot, and then went to Sky, where you were still doing Volcano. So, but heck of a race.
I was behind anyone. I had to be behind. If he's in there like almost 6 minutes before me,
it was about
I
2 to
just
3
played
minutes.
bad. I just played bad.
One Fine Day. If this is you playing bad,
Yeah, ooh, I dodged him.
Yeah, like I think the big things that it's like everything fell in Spellzapp's way. Like he did the waterfall early, found the key, did a few key locks, found defense, found Masa.
That would have made things easier. I'm guessing his Topher was better than mine. He didn't have as many unrunnable.
He did take a wipe out of Topher on the Chimeras with the getting trance stun lock, but
It was
Yeah.
it was something else.
Oh
But
yeah, I got locked in that fight for quite a while. I got locked in it twice.
yeah, and it happened to you also in Mirage, which was another like bad break that you had in your when you finally did go to Mirage. I think you were on Mirage 2 when you wiped out with the trance chimeras, and that was right around the time that Spellzapp was opening up his loot. So it was super close, guys. Like this was One Fine Day. You in the 1-on-1 pool is terrifying, and this was a lot of fun to watch and call. And I'm gonna let Min ask some questions. Let you guys talk about the seed.
So why did you opt to go for Volcano over Sky?
Me?
You gotta go to Sky.
why I went to Volcano before Sky. I was just hoping to find gear in Volcano, and it turned out to be completely garbage.
Yeah, most of the good gear was behind the key locked chests.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. As Spellzapp was opening it, chat was like, those could be defenses, and then you find like they were calling the shots for you. It was wild.
I probably should have just gone to do all of the incentives first. That's my usual strategy for these, but I thought I'd be creative this time, and there's a reason I go for the incentives first and NPC shuffle.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately we were kind of going back and forth about your delayed waterfall dive. I was like, well, it's going to be a lot quicker with him doing waterfall and sea together, but the way Spellzapp had routed it, it just worked out because he was still able to just pop in for some quick key checks, and that awarded him the Masa and the defense, and it was just like, oh, wow. And it's when we were thinking about the way you were routing it, OFD, it was just like, there's no way he goes to Elfland Armory to open those 4 boxes.
I mean, I would have had the full clear C if I did it that way, though, because I was going to. But
yeah, it's just the way Spellzapp had routed it. He routed in waterfall before even having Oxyale, so.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that can make sense, though.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a hell of a race. Like I said, both of you. Had Topher been a little bit kinder to you at One Fine Day, like you would have finished this in probably 3 minutes or so. So like to have 2 people finish a seed under 120.
Well, I didn't finish. I forfeited.
Right, but I'm saying had Topher been a little bit kinder, because Tiamat wasn't particularly scary, Chaos wasn't particularly too scary, so Kraken was, if anything, the biggest hurdle here. But still, hell of a race. I don't have any other thoughts. So what do you get? We'll final thoughts on the seed, I guess, and we'll let Speed Gaming get his channel back.
For now, at least.
Yeah. So One Fine Day, going into week 3, 1-1. How do you feel about the tournament? How do you feel about the seed, the flags, where you're headed?
Well, I had high hopes for this week, but didn't pan out. Spellzapp is a hell of an opponent, so GG to you. I mean, I knew this was going to be probably one of the hardest matchups I could get.
Yeah, but, I mean, the same right back at you, because I was like, oh man, One Fine Day, that could have been a lot easier. One of those for sure. I mean, I could see you being in the top 4 easily this year.
Spellzapp going on to 2-0. How's it feel?
You know, it feels a lot better than last year. I went down the first match last year, so I'm just trying to keep the losses off my back. Maybe I can slide into the 5-0s and the 6-0s and be safe from the dreaded play-in race. So.
Yeah, I think even with you taking the 1 loss, One Fight, I think both of you are going to play well enough to make the top 8 and not have to worry about the big dreaded meat grinder play-in race.
Oh so, yeah, I have every confidence that I can get top 8.
Yeah, and I think you kind of showed it tonight. That's what we were talking a little bit before you joined us in voice, where part of me wanted to see the one loose kind of trolly thing, like we were asking chat where that loot could be, but part of me really wanted it to be just right there in the vampire box, just so we could see just a routing execution between the two of you, because it was like.
Well, I did go Sky earlier than I probably would have otherwise, because I would have probably done Volcano. Let's say I did Sea Shrine and I did all the key lock chests and I did all of that. I probably would have gone to Volcano next, because that's right after the key lock.
So you guys heard it here first. OFD not on Team Sky. But that's okay, neither am I. I usually just kind of try to route by proximity, and that's what it looked like you were doing. So,
well, I know Sky is the thing, so that's what I'm going to not do.
The gamesmanship.
We
coming
talked. Yeah, we talked about that. Like, you know, making those gambles, and I was like, is anybody going to go to Marsh?
Oh, no, never Marsh.
You were the only runner to find the canal, so that was kind of fun. The not needed canal in the Volcano Armory.
And it's experience.
Yeah, that's what I said too. But all right, Min the Mage, my co-coms partner, my former teammate from Team Coping Mechanisms with On-Rack Summer Vacation. It was wonderful calling a race with you. Danny 383, thank you for tracking. Speed Gaming, thank you for hosting us. Min, I'm going to let you take us home, man.
All right, so upcoming races. Let me pull those up. Here it is. Okay. Right now, we've got Silverfire versus Thundercloud over on RPG Limit Break. And then tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern, we've got Allegabrat versus Specty. Uriel Man X7 versus Demon Frog at 9 o'clock Eastern. And then me versus Wab at 9, also at 9 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah. So, and right now there's a race going on RPG Limit Break with Silverfire and Thundercloud. So go check that out. It should be about 30 minutes in or so. So it should be a great match. Both great runners. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.